To the Chessmaster Academy. I'm Josh Waitzkin. I fell in love with chess when I was 6 years old, and I've spent much of my life in the sway of this beautiful, riveting art form. Over the years, I've won and lost countless national and world championship games around the globe, and I've emerged from my experience with an appreciation for the journey and a passion for learning. An amazing thing about chess is you can study it for a lifetime and still discover new mysteries every day, and yet you can also feel the essential beauty of the game in your first lessons. If you have not yet touched the mystery of chess, you're in for a treat. In this academy, I'll lay the foundation for your exploration of what I call the black and white jungle. In part 1 of the course, we'll learn the rules of chess. I'll teach you the powers and values of the pieces, and once you've internalized these basics, we'll be ready to enter the heart and soul of the game. In part 2 of the course, I'll teach the fundamentals of chess tactics, and you'll possess the building blocks to the arsenal that propelled me to the top of the scholastic chess world. Then, in part 3, we'll delve into some more subtle, strategical ideas that will be powerful on and off the chessboard. I have come to believe that the best way to approach chess is in a manner that teaches us about ourselves and about learning in general. I recommend that you keep your eyes open for the parallels between life and chess. They're out there, waiting to be discovered. Over time, you'll internalize the lessons of this academy, and the principles will become part of your intuition. Then the chessboard will become a thrilling arena for you to express yourself with creativity and freedom. Before we begin, I'd like to make a few suggestions. As you progress through this academy and beyond, please remember, growth comes at the point of resistance. This course will gradually stretch the mind, so don't get frustrated if you're stumped or forget something. I can't tell you how many chess problems have confused me until the answer dawned like a revelation. I may sometimes ask a question which feels a bit tricky. In general, the more effort you put into these challenges, the more you'll get out of the experience. The idea is not to get everything right, but to do the best you can with the knowledge you have so far, and then to soak in my explanations. If I've learned anything over the years, it's that the road to mastery is about growth, not perfection. So with that spirit, let's dive in. Welcome to the black and white jungle. Let's begin with the chessboard. There are 64 squares on the chessboard, 32 light, 32 dark. When we talk about the game, the lines that run vertically up and down the board are called files. The lines that run horizontally across the board are called ranks. And the lines that cut diagonally through the board are called diagonals. So these are your files, these are your ranks, and these are your diagonals. Now remember, when you set up a chessboard, you always want to have a light square in the lower right-hand corner of the board. And in the beginning of the game, white always goes first. We'll get to that later. Now we're going to learn the language of chess, what's called algebraic notation. The vertical columns on the chessboard, the files, are lettered A through H. This is the A file, the B file, C, D, E, F file, G file, H file. The horizontal ranks are numbered 1 through 8. This is the first rank, second rank, third rank, fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh, eighth rank. So if we're talking about this square, we line up the letter, which we see is the D, and the number 5. This is the D5 square. This is the F6 square. This square over here, line up the letter and the number, the C7 square. Why don't you try a few? Let's try a few exercises. Touch the D5 square with your cursor. You got it. Now touch the B1 square. That's right. Now touch the E7 square. No problem. Touch the H4 square. Yep, that's it. Touch the A8 square. Excellent work. Now let's get to know the chess pieces. This is the king. This is the queen, the rook, the bishop, the knight, and the pawn. Now let's learn the values of all the pieces. The pawn is the weakest piece on the chessboard. It's also known as the unit of value in chess. So the strengths of the other pieces are measured by the number of pawns that they're worth. The knight is worth around 3 pawns. The bishop is also worth around 3 pawns. We'll talk more about this later. The knight and the bishop are both worth around 3 pawns, but they move very, very differently. In some positions, knights are stronger. In other positions, bishops are stronger. And you'll learn about these nuances in a little bit. For now, knight 3 pawns, bishop 3 pawns. The rook is a powerful piece. It's worth 5.
Thank you for listening, and you will have the next topic in the next part.